Rick, who is going to take over. Do not ask him to take his hat off. He did it one time, and it scarred my face. Like the wind, the hit, like there's like locusts under there.
I don't understand what he's saying, Seth. I still don't know.
But the best thing about these shows, the fact that we're doing a digital edition of Microsoft Build, is the fact that you can be in Redmond in 1 minute and then in Sydney the next. There we go. Look at that. I got our hosts up. That's taking place both in Sydney and in Brisbane, I do believe, if I'm trying to do this correctly. How are things going on down under there? Look, we got Sonia and Aaron. Hey, Sonia, how's it going?
Hey, Rick. Yeah, look, I'm here in Brisbane. My name's Sonia Cuff. I'm a cloud advocate for Microsoft, and it's a little bit cold here today. Brisbane's coming into winter, and so we're only going to get to 23 degrees Celsius or about 73 Fahrenheit. So we are feeling unseasonably cold for Brisbane, but I'm so excited. The DJ was a great intro. I feel like I've had 10 coffees just watching the DJ, and we're like Seth, you've had your time. It's our turn, so we're really excited. I feel like we've been planning this like a big wedding, and finally the day is here. Yeah.
And how about Aaron? You're hosting us from Sydney, correct?
That's right. I'm down here in Sydney, and one thing that I can say that we're doing better than Brisbane is we've got slightly better weather today. It's a rarity, particularly coming into winter, but we're going to get to about 24. I'm not quite sure what that converts to in Fahrenheit, something above 73. My name's Aaron. I'm another cloud advocate here at Microsoft, and I'm really excited. I was watching the DJ session there as well, and wow, I just have massive appreciation for people like that, because I think my musical talent stopped at about the recorder.
Nice. Well, you know what? We're just about ready to go. Sonia and Aaron, you're just joining the feed. If you have a chance to watch any of the shows so far, because I know that the original keynotes when they were aired were during your early morning hours, but have you had a chance to watch more than just the DJ?
Look, I've had a sneak peek at some of the keynotes. I don't want to ruin them for our Australian viewers who are just getting up to watch them, but I do want to put a bit of a shout out to all of the people in the APAC region that did stay up really late last night to get those US keynotes live. So they have all the goss. I'm not going to ruin the surprise.
And how about yourself, Aaron? Any highlights or any interesting things you managed to catch so far?
I don't know. Again, we want to make sure that there's no spoilers here for the people that are joining us around Australia and across the broader APAC region as well. There was some really cool stuff that was announced. I'm going to spoil one thing because I can't not talk about it, and that's the Azure App Service static web apps. Okay. This is something that I've been helping out build some of the documentation for, and that's been announced. It's super exciting. I can't wait for you to learn more about it in the sessions that are coming up.
Excellent. Sonia and Aaron, I know you've got a lot in store for the next few hours. And what are you most looking forward to? We're coming up to that in just a moment. You know what, Sonia, let's start with you. What are you most looking forward to in the coming hours that we've got?
Sure. Look, I'm just thrilled that we've been able to get some local content here in our region. And so both Aaron and I will be coming to you with interviews from people across APAC. We have a couple of special Redmond guest stars to talk to you as well, but that local content and our local guests are going to be great.
Excellent. And how about you, Aaron?
Yeah, same. I'm super excited that we can highlight the folks that are doing amazing things across Australia and Asia, whether they're MVPs, community leads, or anything like that. I'm just super excited that we can give them a chance to be on stage virtually with us at Microsoft Build.
You got it. Well, now I'm looking forward to the next few hours as well. I'm looking forward to being with you until midnight local time, but then obviously much normal time with you guys over there in the APAC region. But first, we've got an encore showing of some of our key segments from earlier in the day, just for those of you that are now joining us in our APAC region.